All right. Hello, everyone. Let me just double check all the settings are working. Looks like they're in order. So, all the settings are working. Oops. I should probably mute that. Ha ha ha. All right. So I don't know if any of you saw this stream last night because it was pretty late. And it was like less than an hour, but I got like 11 minutes of super productive work done, and then it was a disaster. So, how's that? Anyway, because I have a problem, we can put on Zanger Marsh again. Um, that's a little loud. So basically, oh, I did this. The stairs. They came out pretty well. I'm happy with them. And even this is all right. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do for the ground. I'm just wondering if I can get away with it being sand. I might just combine the themes after splitting them again. After splitting them, it might make more sense to just combine them at this point. Almost. Not sure. This actually looks okay in the TR editor, but it looks pretty bad in the base game one, which is what we're using right now. It might make more sense to just go with sand. Sand. Oh, but I guess I could go with like a different kind of sand. Let's see. Okay, I actually kind of like that a little bit. Size, let me get really big. Anakin hated that. I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough. It gets everywhere. Although, I'm not sure if all these things sitting around in the sand makes as much sense as it did earlier. Using these as lily pads is definitely something I should do, but maybe not here. I don't know. Well, maybe it will work here if I combine it with like a bunch of other stuff instead as well. I mean, let's I kind of like this. Wait a minute. Oh, that's the okay. Let's turn it up a little bit. Bit of a brighter green. So we got like sort of a weird thing going on. Let's bump this up as well. I wonder if I would hate having the clouds actually move. Oh, are they moving? So they're definitely not moving. Okay. Huh. They're not moving super slow. They're just not moving. What's going on? Oh, there we go. They're starting to move. Just curious. What speed do they start moving? Is it 0.25 maybe? We'll pump it up to 37. I want it to be moving, but not like obviously sliding across. Just enough to like give the illusion that it's not holding still. Wow, I actually did not think the threshold for being slow would be this low. 0.43 maybe? Oh gosh, no. 0.39. 0.37. That seemed good before. Alright, so the clouds are moving now, which means all of the stuff across the terrain is moving as well, but very slowly and not obviously. There we go. Blow away everything. Clouds move at Mach 2. Yeah. So I'm gonna save that, and I really should start doing these because I know exactly what I want to do for them, but I guess I should get them out of the way. But I kind of want to just like see what other stuff I can put on the ground that would look good. I wonder if I should not put the mushrooms up here, but reserve the mushrooms for down here instead. Although I guess I could put them on both. I don't know. Can I just scatter mushrooms everywhere on this map? That's not right. Let's correct that quick. Can't ever have enough shrooms. Probably true. Let's make sure there's no other instances like that. Because I know with all of my messing around with MS Paint, I probably did mess up the height map just a bit here and there. Let's go ahead and just make this super big. Be a bit time consuming, but I'm thinking I might actually want to do the terrain for the other landing zones manually, just to play it safe so I don't mess with this anymore. Let's see what else was there. Oh, that's loud. Sort of the risk of messing with MS Paint is that it does get... Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that it gets finicky over time. But look, we scared a Rayon out of hiding. Alright. Early? What do you mean early? It's like, what, late at night for you, isn't it? I started at the exact time my little thing said I would start at. Thank you very much. I used a timestamp to show exactly when it would be starting. Oh, whose fault is that? You didn't read the Unix timestamp. That's what I made it for. I taught myself today. No, I taught myself today. Thank you very much. I just looked it up. Yeah, me neither. I can't tell time either. I'm going to switch to the base game editor. Actually, I don't think I'll even have to close this one. It's taking a while to load. Okay. Let's see how it looks in the TR editor. Switch to the... Oh, that's kind of cool. Seeing how they can switch like that. Anyway, so this is what it would look like in TR. Ma says I can't look at the sun no more because my eyes sizzling like bacon fat too much. That's a little weird. Yeah. This definitely looks better than the TR editor. This might be moving a little too fast. Alright, I'm going to switch back. I might switch, the grass one. I'll switch the grass speed down a little bit. Save that. Let's see. I'm feeling better about this than I did yesterday. Yesterday I was quite frustrated. Let's think. I don't want to over-rely on placing mushrooms everywhere on the map. So I want to mix them in with a different prop of some kind. Probably a bush. Preferably a big one that won't look like it's blocking stuff. That might come down to just going through the list of temperate and forest props and Felucia props and just seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. But, you know, maybe I should just take care of a sure thing for now, which is these landing zones. Because I know exactly how I want to do them, and I guess I don't really have an excuse to keep putting that off. And having them done will probably make everything else look better. So let's do them now. And oh, you know what? I can just probably just grab. Oh, okay, I'm clicking on something underneath here. Oh, it's that stupid thing. I can put it back later. Copy, paste. How many do I have here? It looks like no. There must be 3. Yeah, it was 3. All right. Well, let's put this aside for the moment. I need to do some math quick. All right. Because I don't know. Because it's an alien desert. Should be right if I... Okay, maybe it's very wrong. Oh! No, I see the problem. Okay. Must be this. That looks right. Let me make sure. Okay. Desert is green just because, I don't know, I like to do things that are a little atypical rather than just your generic yellow-orange desert. I think it's cool too, honestly. And there's lots of planets that are like described as a desert, but we don't actually see, so why can't they be green? You know? That's sort of my thinking. I like to make every map like sort of visually to have something that stands out visually and makes it memorable, so that they don't just kind of all blur together. That's my thinking anyway. I'm gonna tentatively save there. Go grab this, and if I'm right, I might be wrong. You know, I guess if I were smart, I wouldn't have put... I would have done this with the terrain first before the props. Oh well. Let's see. Let me do the math again quick. Alright, and... do we have any nice factory planets in Star Wars? I'm sure we do, but we can't think of it. There are many. Balmora, Mech is 3. Is it 3? It's 3, yeah. Fondor, Coruscant, in a way, because there's the works. Metelos. There are so many. Bonadan. Bonadan's also like an airport, though. Mandalorian, yeah. There's a lot. Basically, half the urban maps, to be honest. So, I have to be doing this wrong. Okay, that's aligned. And that's okay. Balmora is a factory plant that likes to be independent. They're also tied to Kuat drive yards, sort of. They produce they're like one of the biggest producers of ground warfare vehicles and droids in the galaxy. They're it's covered in mountains, plains, and some forests, but a lot of factories cover the surface. It's famous for the Imperial Walker factories as well. But ironically, it did not like the Imperials. It wanted to be independent and sell to the Imperials, but not actually be a part of the Empire. Oh yeah, the Viper droids too. Okay. How did that happen? Oh, this one's... What on earth happened? Did I fuck this up? I might have fucked this up. Alright, well, I'll fix this. I must have fucked this up, so I'll fix that right now. Since I'm going to be doing the same thing the other one. Doing this in MS Paint is definitely faster, but this is safer at this point because I don't want to potentially fuck up more text, more terrain height, because the more you use the MS Paint, the wonkier it gets over time. And I feel like I've already pushed my limits at this point. So this is going to be going on for a while. But once it's done... What the fuck? Oh wait, hang on. There we go. Once it's done, yeah, exactly, best not to risk it. Once it's done, I will basically be completely done with terrain on this map. Let me save and let my dog out quick. Thankfully, it's not too bad here. It's just basically running this along here, bringing everything up to 6 as the height. Who makes the maps for the story missions? Usually Leo, but they're sometimes like converts of existing maps and stuff as well. Leo is the one who does almost all the code for it. I've been rereading Dark Empire in anticipation of TR 3.03. Yeah, it's actually surprising how much Dark Empire stuff is going into 0.3. But I guess there's a lot of everything kind of coming in 0.3. Dark Emperor would definitely be at the forefront of memorable things, though, I suppose. Okay. Man, it is not great at times. It's sometimes not. I have the hot take of actually preferring 2 and 3 way more than 1, whereas most people seem to insist that 1 is good and the rest are bad. But I don't know. I did not care for 1. You find a box full of lightsabers. I actually don't remember that. Is that on Ossus or something? Or on Biss? Okay. It is on Ossus then. Okay. It's in a hole. Okay, yeah. The tree Jedi lady. Yeah. Personally, I just did not like Dark Empire 1 at all because, I don't know, Han just felt kind of like an ass. And Luke was acting way too mysterious, but then also kind of an idiot and just immediately fell to the dark side. And it was just like, Tressa? Maybe? I don't know. People don't really seem to agree with me, but I really prefer 2 and 3 over 1. Silly, I guess. That might be weird. Luke's fall to the dark side, I just never liked. As a kid or as an adult. Like, ironically, I have no issue with the Emperor coming back anymore. But maybe that's just me, like, learning to accept it. But Luke falling to the dark side never sat well with me. Like, even, like, I still can't rationalize that. I get why people don't like the symbolism of the Emperor coming back. And I get it, but like it doesn't bother me that much, and though maybe it did bother me a lot at one point because I didn't like the disturbance of the finality. The science about Han and the pirates is boring. There just isn't enough. He spends like a week on this sort of chilling out. Yeah. The idea of creating a bridge between Dark Empire Luke and Roy J. Luke? Who's Roy J. Luke? Or what is Roy J. Luke? Am I forgetting something? Something obvious? I don't know. Return of the Jedi. Okay. I was thinking like there was an author named Roy J. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I guess I could see that. Luke falling to the dark side never sat well with me. Creating a bridge. Yeah, I got it. I mean, used the wrong word, but the meaning was still there. Ugh. I am playing with too much fire. My keyboard still set to German. I like how Rayan immediately guessed. Alright, let's... minus 45. There we go. The galaxy gun blows. Ugh! That German keyboard is quartz instead of Cordiup. Only an AE keyboard would have QWERTY, which would allow for that spelling mistake. Oh, you can't see it here, but Leo, check out what I did here. I think you'll appreciate this. So this is what it looks like. Height of 2 to 6. 2 to 6. minus 45, minus 45, minus 45. They make cute little stairs without disturbing the gameplay much at all. With almost minimal clipping, they make cute little stairs. I guess Rogue kind of did something similar, but on a different, very different scale. Not necessarily bigger or smaller, just very different in use. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah. Okay. I need this and this side now. I don't know how I feel about Han and the pirates. Rogue did it on Naboo and made it more extreme on Balthawi. Huh. I don't know how I feel about Han and the pirates though, because I like the Han Solo trilogy's handling of them. So I swear that book makes everything better. Yeah, they're neat. I think this is the first time I've really tried to use them as stairs, though. There's no way that was the end of that song. Oh my goodness, it was. Okay. Let's set the music so it doesn't blare again. All right. Save. And we can go bigger than 10, certainly. Will Rayon know what this is from, though? Too. Actually, the Master Res, will you know what this is from? Yeah, the music. Wait. Just take these over here. Use them later. It's familiar. When you say it like that, it's positively Warcraft. Of course, but do you know what it is from? What part of Warcraft? 97 chances Final Fantasy. You're wrong there. %. WoW. I've been playing almost exclusively WoW music while working on this map, actually. Oh dear, did I do this? I did do this wrong. Didn't I? No, I didn't. Then what the hell happened here? It is not Warlords of Draenor again. What the fuck? Wait, was this always like that? It was, okay. Maybe Belf stuff. Not exactly. I mean, only vaguely there, but it is not Nelf. It is quite far removed from Nelf. Sort of. It is from a Night Elf expansion, though. Fuck you. I hate it when they do this. 204. Fuck you. Two 204. 2160. Alright, what was that height at? 20, okay. It is associated with an alliance race because it was from an alliance expansion. Is it from the Night Elf place from Legion? It is not from the Night Elf place in Legion. It is Argus, in fact. Someone ping me somewhere? Who would ever ping and why? No, I can just copy paste this over. But first I should probably figure out where I want it. Oh, I completely checked out that part of Legion. Really? I thought it was nice. I mean, story-wise, it was not all there. It was pretty obvious that it was going to be like its own expansion, but didn't have enough because like there's a new. Oh fuck! Is this not gonna work? It might not work. Sad music for a sad world. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. I need to be smarter about this. Fuck you. They want to finish Legion off ASAP to get the WoW's real villain. You know, I almost suspect it was fear of having a full expansion of Draenei would make people exhausted. Because apparently that was a complaint in testing for Warlords of Draenor. Is that people got fatigue of all the orc themed stuff. Which, you know, fair enough. You're gonna go sleep now? Good night, Joel. Leo. Legion? Legion had an expansion and half of content. And it was probably the last expansion where there was like a coherent story, I guess. Or the first expansion with a coherent story. Well, no, I guess Warlords Draenor didn't have one. Legion had one. BFA did not have one. Shadowlands definitely did not have one. Initial zones of Legion were fine. So Legion did a lot of stuff wrong. Like everything with the class design in Legion was just terrible. Stirs Dragon with all quests, but they were cute. Suramar was an actual story. Like, I feel like Suramar was their attempt to copy Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, come on, autosave. Okay, this won't work. Let's go a little bit higher. Work out my core. I won't give up on it yet. Denuser is too much of a Karen Travis. He's not super into Warcraft. He just wants to make it his own thing. So his idea is, oh, Wouldn't it be cool if I flipped everything upside down and then turned it into the MCU, but terrible? I mean, I've never seen an interview with that guy that didn't make me hate him. Like, every time I watch an interview with that guy, I'm just like, I am losing hope in this franchise with every word coming from his mouth. He's never had an interview where I was like, oh, I see where they're coming from. Like, Ian is a stubborn idiot sometimes. Like, he's brilliant, but he's also a stubborn idiot who dies on his sword over things he should not be dying on his sword over. And I think he actively makes the game worse by doubling down on certain things. But, like, Karen Travis, or Dark Souls is the Karen Travis of video games. But, like, I can see where Ian gets his point of view. And I'm like, you know what? I don't agree, and I think you're causing problems. But I get why you think that. Every interview with Janusa, I'm just like, you really don't care about this, do you? Like every interview with Ian makes me kind of like understand and maybe feel sorry for him a little bit and be like, you know what, I get what he was going for. It didn't work and I didn't think it was ever going to work, but I get what he was going for. But Janusa, I'm just like, why are you here? Go away. You are awful. Karen Travis like. I don't know. I can't watch an interview with Janusa without cringing a little bit. And then he did the lore interview with Nobble, and Nobble was just like, okay, so, because he's got that Dutch accent, he's like, what was it he said? Regarding Gilneas, we haven't forgotten about Gilneas. He's like, oh, and Nobble just had like this sad moment of realization where he realized he was going to get zero answers on this and probably never would. He's just like, oh, okay. It's just like, oh, bless you, Nobble. You tried. There was basically, I can't remember anywhere. There was basically like, Jedi are for the rocks, Sith are for the Goths, and Karen Travis Mandalorians are for the ROTC kids. I actually don't know what ROTC is. I can't remember. At this point, I think I'll come back only for a world revamp. You know, that'll never happen. They're pretty much abandoned the old world. I realized Cataclysm had a lot of problems, but it did a lot of the same things like Wrath and TBC were doing. Guys, of course, they're going to join the military. Okay, that actually does work. That does work pretty well. I like that. Oh, oof. I recognized the term, but I just had no idea what it meant. Well, not offhand anyway. Shout out to the OG poster. Pooh Shiesty, what is your favorite sci-fi planet in any franchise and why? Now it's a lot more recognizably Legion music. Oh, it's not an easy question, I know. But there's not really a wrong answer either. Unless you say the Clone Wars Mandalore. Then leave. Force Troll Allied Race. I'm still kind of upset we never got broken. Allied races were so lazy. Mustafar, Lava, and I would always rewind to the fight between Obi-Wan and Luke, DVD player, when I was a kid. You know, that's cool. That's fair. When I was a kid, I watched Battle of Endor space scenes over and over and over again, to the point where I can kind of quote the whole thing. Like, if I really try, I probably can. Take evasive action. Green group, stay close to holding sector 47. Admiral, we have enemy ships in sector 47. It's a trap! You know, in a weird way, I feel like I'm actually the target audience for the sequel trilogy. Or at least, The Force Awakens. Because, like, it was meant to be anti-prequel. But for people who grew up with the original trilogy. And yeah, I, like, watched it, and I was like, literally the only moment that I was like, Star Wars! Like, on the inside, was C-3PO's introduction. The rest I was just kind of like, there. I was just like, okay. It felt more like watching Spaceballs than watching Star Wars. Where, like, it's almost Star Wars, but, like, you know it's not. That was, like, kind of how I felt watching The Force Awakens. The only moment I had, like, a sense of, oh, it's Star Wars, was literally just C-3PO's introduction. And apparently that wasn't even written by Abrams. Apparently it was written by that one Jewish comedian. I forget his name. The one that appears on Game Grumps periodically. He voices Sonic. I'm forgetting his name. But apparently he wrote that C-3PO thing that I love so much. I had a dream a few months ago where there was a Star Wars planet that was like blood substance oceans and an ambient noise like pitch-shifted whale noises. I had some name with numbers. I was episode 1 where I was 9, so I loved it then. I saw. I had an ancient Sith curse or something, can't remember. Adam Friedland? No, no, he voices Sonic now. But he's a Jewish comedian. He was in Parks and Rec. He always talked like this and was really obnoxious, his character. He's very funny. He's got the typical big Jewish hair. Very curly black. He's very funny. Ben Schwartz, yeah. I love Ben Schwartz. Apparently he wrote the one thing I actually like about The Force Awakens. So there you go. Like, the one part of The Force Awakens where I felt something was apparently written by him. Like, just kind of guest ghostwriting. So, there's that. I have spent a lot of time on this one. But the good news is that this should just be a matter of copy-pasting now. Sad the only pictures came from reactionary chuds that did not care about Star Wars. I think it's a mix, but I think the people who are loudest now are just watching the rage bait YouTubers, so... And it's like, I've tried to like the sequel trilogy, but like, at the end of the day, there's very little of the emotional stuff that I would want to feel again. Like, there's no scene where Luke, Han, and Leia are all together. There's no scene where R2 saves the day as far as I'm aware. Went to a comic book store. So much of it's not. Yeah, culture war. It's nonsense. Yeah. Went to a comic book store a few months ago, and the owner told me about the Civil War at Lucas. Oh no. Who cares? I think that's wishful thinking. In a sense, I think people want to believe that there's going to be a chance for it to be fun and exciting, but something has to happen, and there needs to be an enemy for that. I think it's just wishful thinking. Because I find myself almost susceptible to wanting to believe it as well. They're having a Gettysburg Lucasfilm headquarters. Most of them are dying from dysentery. Fools need a scapegoat. Well, we say fools, but honestly, I think we're all kind of guilty of that kind of mentality. We can all fall into it pretty easily. There's a fine line between being frustrated with someone for being stupid and but then being able to recognize that you can be stupid just as easily. We're all idiots in our own way. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important whenever you feel anger to ask yourself why something is making you angry. Let me save, because I would not want to lose this. Alright. Doing a Rebels rewatch, good stuff. I couldn't really get into Rebels. Like, I watched the first 2 seasons, but then I kind of realized that I like them. This is going to sound weird, but stick with me. I like them in the same way I liked the Karen Traviss Republic Commandos books, in that I kind of didn't actually like them. I was just waiting for a certain emotional moment. I can put this back. And what I was waiting for was something really satisfying with Thrawn that never quite materialized. I should have done this later. You know, if I was smart, I would just be putting these off in the corner, not where I can keep clicking on the wrong things. But I guess I'm not. It is the mixed bag of mixed bags. When it hits notes, it's great. When it doesn't, it's a core. Low stakes apps are comfy for me. Hard to explain. I mean, if you enjoy a show, you enjoy a show. And you know, there's different ways of enjoying a show too. Like there can be like a really high quality show that you watch intensely, and then there can be like a lazy show that you only half watch, and you can still have fun with it. And it's like the whole idea of like watching bad movies with friends as well, or watching bad TV while you're high. I have a sister-in-law who does that. She watches all the Star Wars stuff while high, and she thinks all of the new canon stuff, including Episode 9, is fantastic, and so I kind of question to what extent that's because she's high while doing it. But you know what? When Rebels became Clone Wars 2, I loved it. See, I never got super into Clone Wars. But I also think I don't like TV as much as books to begin with. All Star Wars has been ruined by Andor. It just blew everything else on board because how good it is. Yeah, Andor rules. Clone Wars has the mixed bag thing even more for me, but Rebels absolutely does too. Did I finish my sentence? I don't know if I did, but I was saying that like I think I was waiting for like an emotional catharsis moment with Thrawn that never came, and then when Thrawn quote unquote died but didn't die, I was just kind of like, I realized that I wasn't invested as I thought. And I had the same experience with the Book of Boba Fett, but even harsher with the Gamorreans, because I was waiting for something like cool and interesting and unique with the Gamorreans, to treat them as more than like comedy. And I was waiting for them to have like a really cool emotional moment, but then they just kind of died, and I was like, okay. And then I realized I don't care about this show at all, and I never did. I was just waiting for something that never came. I have a friend, her dad's a Star Wars fanatic, so she hates Star Wars but loved Andor. I'm just glad the Andor creator is supportive of the strike. Well, that's nice. I think I just don't like TV as much as most people. I don't know. Not sure why that is. YouTube has been good at replacing TV. I mean, it's kind of that. I think it's almost that I would prefer audiobooks to everything else at this point, just because I want to do things with my eyes, like mapping. I want to work with my eyes visually, but I want to be able to listen to something for my ADHD brain. I don't want to watch TV. I listened to a lot of the audio dramas when I was working on maps before I started streaming them. Also a lot of drama time, which is like having HD certainly does not help. I know the feeling. Also a lot of drama time, which is a YouTube. Well, it's a lot of different things now, but it's basically a podcast, I guess, where this guy who used to be the #1 WoW YouTuber, but then he kind of quit WoW. But named Preach, he's really fun. He's also really smart. He basically reads submitted anonymous stories about drama from MMOs and other video games online. And they're very fun. Because they're all over the place in like terms of like being drama versus being what do you call it? Sometimes wholesome stories too. Took me some real to get through Venture Brothers, prescribed of course. I used to love the Venture Brothers. I haven't kept up with them though. I think I wanted the Venture Brothers to be a little more wholesome than it was. That might be my problem. I think I just don't like shows like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, even though I know it's a really good, funny show. When none of the characters are wholesome, I have trouble getting into them. Movie is pay-per-view only right now. Incoming to Max in 90 days. Yep. Stretch my back. Alright. It's a lot of terrain work for a video labeled textures. Waka waka. Although to be fair, I did tweak with the textures. I think I got something working better than last night. I don't know if any of you caught the stream last night. I think I already said this, but so the VOD people will probably hear it. But like, last night I had like 9 minutes of perfect efficiency, and I got a whole thing done like instantly in 11 minutes. It was just all over, everything perfectly done. But then I spent like the next 40 minutes just like flailing as I tried to figure out how to get some things to work with very little success. But I think this will be okay, what I have now. There we go. That felt like an autosave before I saved. I'm gonna save just in case. Huh. That was weird. Felt like autosave saved just before I could hit the save button. Well, I say button, but it's really just a key stroke. Oh, hang on. Let me figure out where this one goes. Actually, I kind of want this one to be a little bit higher, away from the base. Yeah. Make this an avenue without just tying it to this area necessarily. All right. Is that right? That should be right. Looks good so far? Yeah, I think so. Test. You failed the test. The force is not with you. Save. Is anyone else unable to post? Oh, that's weird. I never found a way to like enable links, but I did fix another issue. That's strange. I think YouTube was deleting my chats because of keywords. Oh, that's odd because I thought I I disabled it in certain aspects, but let's see. Engage with my audience. Toggle moderation activity. Let's see. Moderation activity will be shown. Might have been site-wide stuff. Moderation activity will not be shown. What the hell? Community moderation. Oh, I can see the default. Messages in your live channel. Hold potentially inappropriate chat messages for review. That is not checked, so... Comments on your channel. Allow all comments. I don't know. All channels can redirect my content. I have no blocked words. I don't have the blocked links checked off. That's strange. Videos are already blocked. If you select this option, new comments with hashtags will be held for review. URLs sent in live chats are already blocked. If you select this option, new comments with hashtags and URLs will be held for review. This setting doesn't apply to you, moderators, or approved users. Strange. I don't know. I had trouble finding useful information yesterday when I was looking. I mean, with the requirement of people being subbed for 1 minute, I feel like that automatically filters out a lot of bots that just want to hop around. And technically, a bot that subscribes does help me anyway, so... Rand, you lie. I mean... If people can comment without subbing, I might be in trouble. Because I'm pretty sure I enabled that. I'm pretty sure. Gmod Star Wars RP has some very shady stuff and a lot of pay-to-win stuff that very clearly skirted copyright. I'm subbed. Well, thank you. You know what, let me save, check something quick. Switch account. Switch account, here we go. Alright. Oh yeah. I can post without being subscribed. I thought I disabled that. What the frick? What the frick? Alright, well. I'll have to go into my settings sometime. Apparently I am not as secure as I thought. Any plans for the design motifs for Vong planets? Not that I'm aware of. Vong forming isn't really something that can be like done to existing planets without basically making a brand new planet on top map on top of it, or replacing the maps with generic maps, which is actually how Alderaan works in the base game. Like I think those, actually I'm not even sure. I think destroyed planets just become generic, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look into that, but actually I don't care. But because that base game mechanic anyway. Oh, what was I thinking? So Vongified planets probably won't realistically be able to be a thing. Just because of the weird limitations that would incur. Sad. It would basically require making whole new maps. Maybe the staging paths could designs. Yeah, I mean that is more likely to happen, but I'm not sure what they have other than that one in Vector Prime. I mean, Debrillin is a map, so there's that, but Flesh Industry. We don't really have any Vong props, unless you mean like just nature props in general. I've never actually read the New Jedi Order. It put me off a lot when I was younger, just because of, I think reading that they had spaceships with black holes that were flesh or whatever was just like the instant turn off for me. And I was like, absolutely not. And now it's more like, well, I want to completely go through all of the Bantam era first. So. Which means going through all of the X-Wing books, which I still haven't done yet. Actually, I did read Vector Prime, but that's the only one I read. But I don't remember much of it. Haven't gotten to... I have been in Vector Prime for some of my hang-ups. I haven't gotten to yet, but I remember being mildly interested in the Vong as a kid when I would read source books. I don't know. I never... There's a lot of things that I didn't really give a chance that I'm a little more open to now. So, I don't know. What was your hang-up with Vector Prime, though? Is that the one Chewbacca dies in? Because that was another thing that put me off. I think I had a Battlefront 2 mod with a Vong hero. I thought it was a weird bounty hunter. It was on the Camino map. I really should look into Battlefront 2 mods. I bet I'd like them. Sexual hang-ups? What? Okay, I really don't know what you're talking about now. Hey, this is the last one. Stole the Cenobites. I don't know what the Cenobites are. We're almost done with all the terrain work. And then I can never touch terrain work on this map again. The Vong and the Pain stuff. Hellraiser bad guys. Pinhead. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, they don't seem like the most original design, and it's the robots that kill them, the anti-Vong droids or whatever, do seem a little too Terminator-like. Alright. This is going nicely. I read that book when I was 10. When I was a teenager, I read, there was a limited selection of what Star Wars books there were. And I could only read the Galaxy of Fear, complete series of Galaxy of Fear. And the third Corellian trilogy book and the second, what was it? What are they called? The second, Duskin Lead book. That was all the library had. Oh, and Planet of Twilight. I didn't like Planet of Twilight. I liked the Corellian one, though. That one I liked the most, I think, at the time. Even though, like, I was very confused by it, I really liked it a lot. Actually, maybe it was the second Corellian book. I think it was the second Corellian book and the third Duskin League one, because I remember Chewbacca talking a lot. Really, when I was 10. Hold on, there is a Yuzma Vaughn character with a fish hook pulling up his skin. They are definitely 100% based on Hellraiser Xeno fights. Your first Star Wars book was Death Troopers. Oh boy. I said, oh boy, I hope this chapter about dude worshiping pain and hurting himself doesn't plant a seed of sadism in me. Oh man, I can't imagine Death Troopers being someone's first introduction to Star Wars. Oh shit, did I forget? No, I did, okay. I just didn't text her this. Foolishly. Let's leave that for now. Let me get these corners quick and then I'll read chat again. Alright, that should be correct. I hope. Narrator, it did. I couldn't sleep with oh my god. I was big into zombies. My first was Darksaber. Interesting. You know, I didn't like Darksaber as an adult, but I bet I would have loved it as a kid. I think there was a time where playable Zero Command was just dismissed out of hand. I still think it's not likely to happen anytime soon, but I think there is some push for it to eventually happen. In some form or another. He will at the very least end up on the map. And that will definitely lead to submods, so you have that. Once he's like completely ready to go as like an once he's like completely ready to go as a like hostile faction, oh, excuse me, I'm sure the submods will start rolling in with playable Zero Command, because he will have like a completely filled out roster and everything eventually. think the main opposition to him was the idea of like his lack of territory. I would also never want Duskin League playable early. No, it won't. It definitely won't be taking priority, but I'm sure enough will be put in for the submodders to have fun, is what I mean. So, stay tuned for submods. I'm sure they'll be around quickly. Everyone told me Nova Troopers were never happening, but they are HQ Swamons now. They're... Oh no, that's not in the thing yet. There was a plan that I was under the impression would be like happening by now, but hasn't even been spoken of since then, but they were planned for something else as well. But I don't want to talk about it because like, not because it's a secret, but because like it might be a scrap plan because it's been silent for so long now. Oh, yeah, Rand's probably right. One day my little word is going to make 0 playable. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure the submods will be like fully fleshed out by 0.4 in 0.4's version. Let's see how this looks now. Okay. Well, that is kind of the plan, to use them in missions if they just tell Ashley to stop being lazy. Yeah, they probably will pop up in missions. There was a kind of mission that I was under the impression would be a lot more common by now, but it's just sort of been set to the wayside for a long time. And I was pretty much told Nova Troopers would be used there. But there's been like 0 movement on that front. Although maybe with Leo it'll actually happen, so who knows. But we could whip up Zero Command in a week of dedicated working. I mean, that's true. I mean, most of the stuff is there. I couldn't remember if it was Ashlyn or Victory that made the Zero Command submod. Zero Command just needs some love. Super excited for more organic CIS use. I would like to see that too, honestly. I don't know what the plans are, but I would like to see it. I'm closing this off. Oh, thanks, autosave. I'm closing this off not because I need to, or not because like it's visually blocked off, but because I don't want units to try to go through here. Because it's so skinny that some of them will just like have pathfinding hell. I hope this Skoan scientists are units and hopefully make even indigenous Nelvanians. I'm not sure what the story is there. I want to see more cool maps. I like this one. I mean, I do keep working on them. haven't stopped yet. It's from the 2003 Clone Wars Micro Series of Mutated Blue Teevil. Yeah, I do remember that kind of. They were like mouse-like looking almost. Anakin got the weird tattoo thing going on. Had them all just non-mutated planetary militias. Well, to some extent, that's what the public defense troopers represent. But, yeah. Having variety is nice. It's just a lot of work. Oh, hello. Go and fill these out. Avoid clipping. So. Alright. Let's get another one. Some cleanup here. And here, here, and here. Get this as well. And there we go. And get this here. Control Z is my greatest ally. I think it was modding back in the 2000X years that really trained me to use the Control Z, Control C, Control V commands. Because I didn't really use them before then, but I'm glad they did because I just use them for everything. Or I've been using them for everything now. In the decade since. Super useful. I think I can afford to be a little sloppy here for this corner. Let's see. I still have no idea what planet I want to use this for, but I guess it doesn't really have a clearer look quite yet, but it's getting there. Did someone react with 100%? I'm not quite sure how the reacts work on this site. But thank you. These here. And here. All right, and clean up around here. Sure, none of these are clear when they should be steep. Oh, here's some missed ones. This is the passability, by the way. It's what actually causes your units to be able to go someplace and not others. The red represents steep, which means only flying units can go over it. The green means everything can go over it. And the darker green means that only infantry can go over it, as well as flying. Blue means hover units. And believe it or not, this matters more than water, props, or anything else. It doesn't really matter what you put on the map if you don't have the passability set. So it's very important to do this part correctly. All right. Is there a planet with trenches? Trenches are a little problematic because of the terrain collision, but there are some. Depends on what you mean by a trench. If you mean like a trench where like a World War II style trench, then no, not really. Is there a planet with trans rights? I thought all of them were. What is? I've been ruined by the internet because sometimes when I hear trans rights, I don't think of like the movement. I think of Donkey Kong. I think of Donkey Kong where it's like trans rights are human rights. Huh! Which, thank you, internet. You know, like the DK rap. The internet has ruined me. And then there's Chunky. He's dead. You found it? Okay, yeah, I figured that wouldn't be too hard to find. Have you ever followed Grant Kirkhope? The Aw. I'm Chunky. Have you ever like looked at any? Why is it so loud suddenly? Hang on a second. Okay, it's slowed down. Never mind. I'll just leave it. Have you ever looked at posts by Grant Kirkhope, the composer of the Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong games, or the Nintendo 64 one anyway? He's very funny. The Scottish guy that curses a lot. Says stuff like, what you fucking mean you can't believe I'm an SJW or stuff like that? Well, fuck off. Go follow someone else on the Twitter. He's just an old, grumpy Scottish guy. It's very liberal. and also very open with his opinions and cursing, which I mean, I guess you'd expect from a Scottish guy. He's also very hard to understand, but like Scottish accents are just a hoot. Very talented though. I mean, but then again, I come from the generation that's in love with Banjo-Kazooie, so. You know, he wrote the DK rap, but he's not in the credits of the Mario movie. That's kind of fucked up. Go ahead and do the AI data. Let's try it in game for funsies. This should work right now, I think. See how this goes. Oh, is that... I forgot, is that a thing? Chewie takes his helmet? I completely forgot about that. Chewie used to collect trophies in older lore. I forgot about that. That doesn't come up very often, though. Let me try to find my settings. Here we go. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at this. Here we go. Wait, no, I have to copy paste first. Close, close, close. See, okay, Green Desert, where are you? Copy. Paste, replace, close, launch. Okay, give me a second. I'll check this Twitter or Discord messages quick. Is one of you a neurotic barber? I'm not going to do RevRev because I am lazy. Also, RevRev is actually kind of a pain in the ass to test with. I did some testing in RevRev last night, and it's very obvious that it's not finished. Oh, okay. Okay. Money laundering in your comment. That is weird. Honestly, I don't understand the settings. I left them at default, and when I've gone to like try to adjust them, it doesn't really seem to make any difference. Which one was that? That was testing. Oh crap. Oh, I never saved. Alright. I'll have to start a new one. I live to suffer. Oh, how I must suffer. Having to do something as hard as starting a campaign. Oh, here's the stereotypical Legion music.
Mission log updated.
Yeah. Talicia was the planet. No, that's Talus and Tralis. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. Talicia, here we go. Talicia is an easy map to test on because it's always independent forces, not that big, and right next to the Empire.
Moving to coordinates. I copy.
Login screen? What you talking about?
Order confirmed.
Shuttle en route. Moving to coordinates.
Destination set. On my way, sir.
Acknowledged.
Order acknowledged. Navigating to coordinates.
Yeah, it did sound like it, didn't it? But, you know, the login music in WoW is always taken from I might want this. It's always taken from
En route.
somewhere in the expansion. Like, let me put on... oh, let me just auto-resolve this quick.
Coming around.
Tactical battle imminent. Cleared for departure.
Let me bring up... the Shattering, I think it's called. Here we go. Like, the original music, the first music you hear in the Cataclysm starting screen is just straight up the music from Deep Home. No stormtroopers in this group? Really? Nah, whatever.
Invasion commencing. Reporting.
See how I feel about it like this.
Moving out. Choose your reinforcements.
Ahead to that position.
Enemy forces ahead. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Reinforcements en route. Moving to destination. Moving out. Unit capacity.
Awaiting your orders.
Ready. Yes, sir. Roger.
Your orders, Commander?
Juggernaut ready. Landing zone. Standing by. Reporting in. Squad, move out. Reinforcements.
I love these tanks. They're good for everything.
Ready. All right, men, take cover.
I am ready. Deploying stormtroopers.
Is Veers a strike here for the Empire now? No, this is not Veers. This is Cal Ashen. It's just he's using Veers' voice.
Brigade standing by.
Roger that. Our base is under attack.
What are we fighting here? Actually, what are we fighting here? Oh, scavengers! Cool. I meant to protect other units from military reprisals. They got scavenged repeating blaster. I mean, I assume they could have... not all their weapons would have to be scavenged as well, but...
Ready. Acknowledged.
What is your order?
Form up. Avoiding fire!
Armor ready.
Armed and ready. Awaiting.
Just, yeah, it's just an anti-vehicle blaster, they'll be fine.
Armed and ready. Reporting in.
Run away! Oh, he was gonna try self-destruct there, I think.
Copy.
Just give me a target.
I copy.
Very dramatic WoW music for this battle.
Right away, sir.
Tank brigade ready.
Send these guys in too.
What are your
I'll
orders?
send, Carvin as
Destination
well.
set.
You know what I think this map needs? I think it needs piles of rocks around the base here as a transition. I would need to test out various rocks and see what looks good, what looks bad. But
We've secured a landing zone.
though perhaps using the clouds the way I have is a
We've
mistake.
secured a landing
Using
zone.
this, even though this looks pretty cool, I wonder if using the clouds this way is a mistake.
Bombing run available.
What's this smoke from?
Moving to coordinates.
Destination
Maximum unit
set.
capacity.
At your command. Awaiting orders. Proceeding.
Reporting.
Reporting. Deploying stormtroopers.
Order acknowledged.
Affirmative.
Yes, Commander.
New coordinates. Understood.
Copy. Protecting target.
Yes, Commander. Acknowledged. Ready.
Spreading out.
Destination set.
We'll clear the way for you.
I'll get there. Ready. Commencing attack. Order, sir. Target confirmed.
Alright.
Reporting.
I don't know how I feel about the lack of clouds. Even though I really love the moss. Ooh, excuse me.
We are victorious.
Maybe I'll try a much faster approach. See how it goes.
System control achieved.
Where's autosave? Do I not have an autosave? Okay, let me delete this. I have too many of these. And I bet most of them don't even work. I'll have to just go through my saves and just purge the whole thing. Sometime later. Let's ride or die.
Invasion commencing.
Try to capture one of the close landing zones and then just go crazy.
Choose your reinforcements. Reinforcements en route.
What's the speed on this? Let's go with these instead.
Proceeding. On my way.
Reinforcements awaiting orders.
I copy. On my way.
Actually, no, let's go
Moving
this
out.
one.
Roger that. Rolling out.
Roger that. Rolling out.
Standing by. Scouting location. We've located the enemy.
Squad, advance.
Reporting. As you wish. Right away.
Form up. Moving to position. Awaiting orders.
We've secured a landing zone.
On my way, sir.
Oh crap.
Distance calculated.
Moving to destination.
Moving out.
Maximum unit capacity.
Alright.
As you command.
Yes, sir.
He looks very smoky for having taken only,
We've
well, okay,
secured
1/3 of his
artillery
health.
online.
Copy. Dropping additional soldiers.
Let's go
Moving.
march on the base.
Ready to go. We're going in. Commander, executing flight.
AT-AT ready.
I'll
Proceeding
leave
to
him
target.
right here
Yes, sir.
with these army troopers.
Roger. Move out. Reporting in. Right away. All right, men, take cover.
Ready, sir.
I'll copy.
Look how fast these guys are. I love them.
Reporting.
Reporting.
Armored transport ready. Reporting in.
Spread out, men.
Ready for orders. Copy.
Transport here. Target acquired.
Charge. Target confirmed.
Roger that.
Yes, General.
That was pretty fast. I try to make sure that maps can be like cleared really fast and slowly if people want to.
System conquered.
Oh. Go away, Isard. Nobody likes you. Yeah, I'll go ahead and save here because I might want to test this later. Alright. I think I will probably stop there for today. Thank you for coming on this magical journey, everyone. Rate and subscribe. I'll try to figure out my settings before next time. Hopefully tomorrow. What was the last thing? I do feel happier about the textures at least now. And the landing zones are set up. So that means I can actually have a nice preview image next time. Anyway, good night. Or good day, mostly likely. Well, good night in Germany.